let's see if maybe he's hopefully he's still able to go out there and do what he does against this Patriots defense that had shown a couple of cracks the past few weeks with quarterbacks who can move. Now, he's not a runner by any stretch. He's more of a pocket passer, obviously, but he does scramble and extend the play, and that's given the Patriots problems. So I think that when you do see that, then or if he's able to maintain that, then he'll be fine, and the Chiefs will get another win. The Patriots will slide some more because that offense of the Patriots is just not equipped to go back and forth with a team like the Chiefs. And then you got the Seahawks and the Rams. Rams still fighting for their lives at 7-5. Seahawks are 10-2, but the Eagles now sitting at 5-7. And after all the turmoil that they had coming into the last few weeks, now to be in a position to possibly take back. Or be in contention for the division again. That's crazy. That's crazy to even consider for them because it was just a couple of weeks ago when it didn't seem like they had a choice to do or any chance to do anything because of how bad everything was with them. So this week's it'll be interesting. It'll be wild to see how everything ends up ultimately going. Because I just don't know. I don't know how it's going to turn out, and I just want to see. Hopefully the Bears can make it. All they can really worry about is going out and taking care of their business. But if the Lions and the Seahawks want to give them a boost real quick, that would be much appreciated. They both, need them themselves. I'm not sure the Lions do. They're not necessarily in contention for anything, but the Seahawks definitely would like to stay ahead of the 49ers there. Switching gears real quick to the one more topic, actually, before I switch gears. The 49ers broadcaster Tim Ryan was during a broadcast made a mention of Lamar Jackson's skin tone and how that is somehow an aid in what Jackson does with the ball. And I saw some people that were defending him, and a couple of the 49ers players, D Ford, Richard Sherman, came to his defense. And Tim Ryan is a former player, but the thing about it is, while the comment, and they keep saying the comment is there was no malice behind it. But I think it's important to remember that there doesn't have to be malice for it to be racially insensitive. Okay, we'll go there, and that's not a term I like to use. It's either racist or it's not. And you know what? I'm not even going to go. It was a racist comment, and here's why. He's attributing the level of skill that Lamar is displaying on these handoffs strictly to, or not strictly to, but in part to his skin tone and the uniform and the football. Well, Lamar's not the first black quarterback. He's not the first black quarterback to wear a dark uniform, and he's not the first black quarterback to wear a dark uniform to hand the ball off to his running back. So I'm not sure where that notion came from. Now, Richard Sherman came out and said that, hey, watching film, we had trouble trying to locate it, and that's cool, and that might be well and true, but the fact of the matter is that statement is a slight to the work and the ability of a Lamar Jackson, and attributing it something to an innate. It's you're attributing his skill to his skin tone, and saying that it's not because he's actually good at it, or he's running it better, or he's doing it better, or the threat of his legs. You could even have said that it's because of the threat of his legs, and it would have been better than saying, well, the dark skin on the dark. That's terrible. And again, if for no other reason than he's not the first black quarterback. So I don't know how that's like, oh yeah, that's valid. But the hell it is. I'm just saying. Okay, so I just had to get that out there. That's not something that, they suspended him. The 49ers suspended him. Again, the couple of players came out to defend him. That's a racist comment. I'm not saying he's a racist, but that is a racist comment, and one that I think, if you not even have to look hard, but just understand what he's actually saying. He's saying, he's good at these things. You look there, and he's got the dark skin, dark jersey, dark football, and you can't see it. Don't diminish somebody's ability in that way. And I saw a great example online from I believe it's from Xavier Pope, and he said, "Would you say that Nolan Ryan was good because he was you couldn't see the ball in his hand against his jersey?" And it was just one of those things like, that's not something that you say. Like I said, he's not the first black quarterback. He's not the first black quarterback to hand the ball off with the dark jersey on. None of those things. So I don't know where that was supposed to be a valid argument for him. So that's just that. Stupid comment. Moving on. Switching gears to the NBA. The Chicago Bulls, man, they took on the Memphis Grizzlies and got a big performance from Zach LaVine and from Zach LaVine late and Larry Markkinen throughout most of the game. And got the W over the Memphis Grizzlies the other night. And then Friday night they will be taking on. Everything wants to freeze up when I try to pull it up. They're taking on the Golden State Warriors to get a chance at their redemption. Bulls are sitting at 8-14 right now. They're still in the losing record, obviously, but they're within earshot of the 8th seed. You might not believe they deserve to make it, but they are still only 3 games back. It's so early that it probably doesn't really count right now. Not count. Probably it doesn't, but. They like I said, they got the win the other night. Late game heroics by Zach LaVine again. And he's averaging, I believe the stat that I saw was from Stephen No. He was averaging 30 points over his last 5 games and shooting 50% plus from 3-point range. Zach's killing right now, and the thing that I've noticed the most, and I'm not trying to say like I'm breaking ground here, but the video circulating of the players avoiding Boylen in big moments. A few games ago when they played the Hornets and Zach hit the buzzer beater, players were coming off the bench and celebrating, and everybody Zach kind of looked at Boylen and avoided him, and everybody kind of stayed away. After this game against the Grizzlies, same thing happened. There was a moment in the game where Boylen called the players over, called Lowry, Kobe, and Zach over, and they kind of just looked apathetic to what he was saying. Nobody really had any intention of trying to hear him, and that's a bigger issue that I kind of notice is they're kind of winning and coming together despite him. Now I don't know if you want to attribute that's a good thing, but we've kind of seen Boylen lose the guys. He's definitely lost the public opinion, the court of public opinion. He had seemed to have won the players over last year, starting with Zach, and then with the benching of Zach, to which Zach responded with 49 points. Again, something that you could say, well, that you responded well to him benching you, but it seems the players have more rallied around Zach than anything. If you recall, I was talking about it at either the last episode or the one before, how Zach was sticking by Lowry publicly throughout his struggles and showing his leadership. And even when he went out and scored the 50 ball against Charlotte, and after being benched, it was like that's still leadership, because while you want to see him defend more, what he was showing is that, look, I can get buckets in any type of way. Get somebody else to defend. Like, come on, man, I'm out here doing the heavy lifting. This is before Lowry was doing much of anything. You still want to see him do it consistently. Lowry, that is. Zach still can have that headhunter mentality, that hero ball mentality that gets him into trouble, especially when Kobe gets him shot. That's a dynamic to watch there. But I think that it'll be something it'll be interesting to see how they are going forward. If they can continue having success, will they try to put that on Boylen, or will they still find a way to get rid of Boylen? I'm not sure how many more games they're going to win. You know what I'm saying? My question is just that: will they try to attribute it to Boylen? Will they try to say that Boylen is the reason for it being successful? Will they say that his patience with Satoransky? That's something that I'm writing for an article for Pivot and Easy that should be out tomorrow before tomorrow's game. His biggest contribution has kind of been waiting out Sato's scoring slump as he's kind of come out of it the last few games. He recently put in Daniel Gafford and Kobe White, but those decisions seem like they took forever for him to make, even though it seemed obvious to everybody else. It just seems like he's slow to react, and the biggest adjustment that came around for Lowry was him and Zach moving to a 2-man game on their own without waiting for confirmation or approval from the coach. If their best move was overriding or going around him, then what is he doing there? He's not getting them to play. It's tough because there are results there, but they seem to be tuning him out at the same time. It's really, really strange, and it's one of those things where you kind of could see why he would have been an assistant all this time. Part of being a head coach in the NBA is being an ego manager, just a manager of people, and not necessarily being their coach, more of being the guy who's getting everybody, the HR person in the room at all times. The other interesting things of note before we wrap it up, the Suns won again. They are right now sitting at 10-11. They're third in the Pacific in their division, still below 500. But it's just good to see them doing things with a team that was basically trash for forever. They had they got I scrolled way too far trying to find this. They won 139 to 132 over the New Orleans Pelicans, and they had Devin Booker went for 44. Frank Kaminsky had 20. You got Kelly Oubre with 14 and 15, and then you had you also got 13 points from Ricky Rubio and 15 assists. New Orleans had 4 starters go into double figures, including Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram still, J.J. Redick went 26 on 7 of 11, shooting 5 of 7 from deep. But the Pelicans got nothing from their bench, especially Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They combined to go 6 of 19 from the field and 3 of 13 from 3. So that just was not a good effort from them overall. The earlier games, though, the Rockets beat the Toronto Raptors. And I talked about the Rockets a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of episodes ago at least, how they're coming together better than anybody wanted to really give them credit for. They're second right now in their division. And everybody wanted to say that, they two selfish players like that won't work because they're just not going to be able to coexist. And the Rockets are sitting 5th right now in the West. And it's just good to see Russ and Harden, who are friends, work past whatever differences that they have and have success on the court together. That's been the best thing. But tonight's game was actually a story for Ben McLemore, one of my favorite, I don't want to call him scrum or bum, but like scrub or bum. But one of my favorite low-key players coming out of college. I just thought he would be a lot more successful in the NBA. But tonight he ended up putting in major work for them in this game against the Toronto Raptors. He finished the game with a team-high 28 points, a game-high 28 points. And on the other side, Pascal Siakam. I saw this post the other day. Is it possible to win most improved player twice in a row? Because this man is looking like a legit MVP candidate for this team after looking like, again, the most improved player last year. That's incredible and a testament to his work ethic. That's tremendous. You love to see stuff like that happen. The Wizards beat the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers are a weird team, one that I don't think I'll ever get because they just have so much talent, but they seem to drop so many easy wins. They got 30 from Tobias Harris, Cold World, 26 from Joel Embiid, 17 from Ben Simmons, but Washington had 27 from Rui. They got 26 from Brad Beal, and they got 19 from Ish Smith, and they got 25 off the bench from Davis Bertans. So, Philly, I just don't know. It's just weird. Like I said, I picked Philly to make it out of the East, but the more I watch them, the more I see the same team from last year where they're just not a complete team. Something is just not quite there to make them a complete team. And then the other game, and I kind of jumped around it because it's such an obliteration. 129-92, the Nuggets over the Knicks. And what makes this interesting is they did this with Nikola Jokic only scoring 9 points. 6 points, 8 assists, and 10 rebounds. And he's kind of had a little bit of a Lowry thing going, or a Sato thing more, where he's facilitating, he's still getting rebounds, he's doing the other things, but he's not scoring. He's only had double digits twice in his past 6 games. And it was 13 points against the Lakers a couple of nights ago. They are, like I said, them and the Jazz, who have been a little bit more disappointed than I thought they would be, are two teams that are really talented and are really good regular season teams, but I just don't know how high of a ceiling either one of them has when you look at every other team in the NBA. Or especially those LA teams, when you get to the playoffs, you need the star power, and they just don't have the star power to keep up with either LA team. And that's one thing that, when the Lakers beat the Jazz the other night, and everybody was saying, well, this, you get the NBA Twitter, the Lakers Twitter coming alive. Does this validate The Lakers now, because everybody was talking about their strength of schedule and how they've been beating up on bad teams. First of all, you can only play who you play. I don't know why they're even entertaining that garbage. They didn't make the schedule. They can only play those teams. And then as far as validation, no, but only because they were already valid. Like, you have two of the best players in the league on your team. I don't know what kind of validation they feel like they need. And the only validation really for them is going to come in the form of championships. This is the LA Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. There is no validation until there is a Larry O'Brien trophy in that another Larry O'Brien trophy, Larry O.B., in the trophy case of Staples with purple and gold and not blue and red. Who knows how that's going to play out. So, yeah, that's just one of the things that I always find interesting. Like, why is it that Lakers Twitter or the Lakers fan base is constantly trying to seek that approval when I think they already have it? I don't think you need it for anything else, and I don't think that looking for it anywhere else other than in trophies is going to make them feel like they got it. So that's going to do it for this episode of Triple Zeros. Again, follow me on Twitter, Josh G. Buck. Hit up the Facebook page, Jukes and Jumps. Hit up the website, jukesandjumpers.wordpress.com. And, of course, if you need to email me, jukesjumps@gmail.com. Until the very next time, what I will say to everybody out there is peace. Oh, before I go, I almost forgot. Check out Last Word on Pro Football for the football, obviously for the Bears stuff, and check out Pippin Ain't Easy for all of the Bulls stuff. Now, officially, until next time, peace.